morning, welcome to today's practice. So a little bit more of a dynamic practice today, not suitable for complete beginners, probably more of an intermediate practice. You might want a couple of bricks, and if you like to sit on a yoga block during your seated poses, then a yoga block or a cushion might be helpful as well. Okay, so we are going to start with the soles of the feet together and have your feet out in front of you. So rather than having the heels too close in towards you, we're going to take them a little bit further away so there's a diamond shape here. And if you want to sit on that cushion or that yoga block now, then you can do. So we're just going to start off in a brief yin pose. So as long as you've got no disc issues in your spine, we're going to let the spine round and come forward just to your own place, and you can rest your head in your hands if you find that comfortable. Just come to wherever suits you. If you do have disc issues in your back, then you're better off keeping your back flat and coming forwards there. So just finding the place that suits you. And then close your eyes. And become aware of your breath. And just take a few deeper breaths and allow yourself to settle. Just taking your awareness through to your shoulders, just ensuring there's no tension there. And if there is, can you just have the intention to release it? So just softening through the shoulders, through the face. Just taking a few moments to start to draw your senses inside, pratyahara. You might be distracted now and again by something that's going on in your environment or in something that's going on in mine. But just notice it, allow it to be there, and then draw back inwards. So we're not going to let our equanimity be spoilt by matters that are beyond our control. Just keep drawing back to your breath, back to the sensations of your body. Just let everything else be as it is right now. You're not going to be here too much longer. Just take time to connect through to your breath. We'll take 3 more nice, slow, deep breaths here. You can hear that's my stomach rumbling away. So 1 more breath. And then as you inhale, just start to bring yourself back through to upright. And then we're just going to straighten out the legs. We'll take the legs out wide, and you can bend the knees if the hamstrings are a little bit tight. And then hold on to what you could imagine to be a big spoon. I'm going to start to stir a big pot of porridge in front of you. A big pot of gloopy porridge. Just starting to find some movement now into the body and making the stirring action as big as you comfortably can. I'm going to take it back in the opposite direction. back through to upright. And then just bringing your legs in front of you, so just easy cross-legged. As you inhale, lengthen the arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to intertwine the fingers and turn the palms away from us. So pressing up with the inhale through the palms, and as you exhale, just releasing the hands down to the top of the head and then rounding the spine so the pelvis tilts back, chin comes in towards the chest. Inhale, press the palms away, take the gaze up if that feels okay, and then as you exhale, you're rounding the spine, pelvis is tilting backwards. Inhale, pelvis comes forwards, lift up through the chest. And from there, we're going to take the hands apart, and as you exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So your right hand will come behind you, and the back of the left hand against the right thigh. Couple of breaths there. Reach up through the crown of the head. And then inhale, bring it forwards again. Reach up, find that length, and as you exhale, twisting left. Left hand behind, back of the right hand against your left thigh. Try and keep softness in the shoulders. Keep connected to your breath. And then inhale, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, we'll side bend right. So right hand comes down, left arm reaches out over your ear. Left sitting bone staying down on your mat, just extending through the side body. Just noticing where you feel the stretch. And then inhale, back through to upright, and then over to the other side. So side bending to the left, stretch through the right side of the body. The right sitting bone is staying down. We'll take one more breath here. And then as you inhale, coming back through to upright. And then as you exhale, take the hands behind you, roll the shoulders away from the ears, so a little bit of a back bend here. As you open up through the heart space. And then as you exhale, just nice and gently folding forwards just to your own degree. So you might not come forwards very far, wherever you come to is absolutely fine. Just a sense of opening there through the shoulders, the arms. And then as you inhale, bring it back through to upright. So we're going to release the hands, just roll the shoulders back and down. And then from there, taking your feet onto your mat, keep the knees bent, take your arms out in front of you, and then nice and slowly, we're going to lower ourselves all the way down onto the mat. So you're engaging through your core, you might feel your thighs start to kick in. Try and keep the feet grounded and softness in the body. And then just coming all the way down onto your mat. And once you're down, bring your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side. Okay, so from here, as you inhale, bring your nose up towards your knees. Now, if you feel this straining your neck, your head in any way, support the head with the hands. If your neck feels okay, because we're working on using the core muscles here rather than the head and the neck, reach the arms out in front, and then see if you can bring your knees in towards your nose. So it's a little lift of the hips away from the mat. Couple more breaths. Keep squeezing it in. And then exhale, take it back down. Maybe just a little bit of a rock from side to side. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, lift up the head. Again, use support if you need to. And then if it feels okay, knees in towards the nose. Keep breathing. One more breath. Can you lift a little bit more? And then exhale, take it all the way back down onto your mat. Take your feet back down onto your mat, hip width apart. And then we'll just open up the front of the body. So press down into the feet, and as you inhale, lift up through the hips and the chest. Weight is staying in the shoulders, not moving into your head and neck. If it feels okay, you can clasp your hands underneath you. Just stretch out the muscles that you've just worked. Stretch out the hip flexors. Couple of breaths. So engaging through the back line of the body. And then as you exhale, slowly lower your hips back down onto your mat. Bring the knees gently in towards the chest, little rock from side to side. You're going to cross the ankles, roll up through to seated and come over onto all fours. And then from all fours, we'll tuck the toes and start to work our way into downwards facing dog. So if your hamstrings are feeling tight, then just keeping the knees bent and working there. If you can straighten your legs, then we will do. You might want to straighten one leg at a time, just pad out through the feet. Just gently drawing in the lower abdomen, finding some support for the spine. Connecting to your breath. And then from there, as you inhale, ripple your spine forward through to plank. As you exhale, hips up and back, downwards facing dog. Couple more. Inhale through to plank. Exhale, hips up and back. Inhale through to plank. If it feels okay, you could even take it into an upwards facing dog, but without untucking the toes. Hips up and back. So we'll do that a couple more times. If you want to just work plank to down dog, do it. If it's comfortable for you to come through into more of a back bend here, then you can do that too. And then we'll all meet back in our downwards facing dog. Starting to walk your hands in towards your feet. And once you've got your heels down on the mat, just hooking onto your opposite elbows. So if your hamstrings are tight, pop a little bend in your knees. Only if it feels really comfortable, straighten your legs. So if you're doing this first thing in the morning, just ease in slowly, don't push. If the hamstrings are tight, same thing. Maybe just release out the head and the neck, nodding yes and no. And then release your hands. So we're going to come through to upright, so put a little bit of a bend in your knees, take your hands to your waist, and as you inhale, come through to standing. Okay. So come through to the front edge of your mat. Just going to take a few sun salutes to warm up the body. So inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, find length, and then as you exhale, fold forwards. Hands to the shins or the floor. Halfway lift as you inhale, and then as you exhale, hands down, step back through to your plank. So for this first one, we'll drop the knees down, and then we'll lower the body down. Inhale through cobra. And then as you exhale, hips up and back, downwards facing dog. So connect to the breath. Fix your gaze lightly on one spot. If you find your mind wandering, just keep coming back to your breath. We'll take one more breath here. And then as you inhale, look forwards, bend the knees, and walk your feet forward between your hands. Find a halfway lift. As you exhale, fold in, head to legs. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands through to the heart center. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale, folding. Inhale off the heart, exhale, hands down, step or jump back. So plank or to chaturanga. Lowering down, inhale through your back bend. And then as you exhale, downwards facing dog. Anytime you need to in this practice, you can just take a rest. As always, ensure that you only do what feels good for your body. Take one more breath. And then we'll soften the knees, look forwards, and you can walk the feet forwards or you can jump the feet forwards. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale through to the heart centre. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. Inhale to look up. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling. Downwards facing dog. Okay. From here, as you inhale, float your right leg up towards the ceiling. Open up that right hip. So point the foot right up. And then bend the knees. So you're kind of rolling your right hip on top of your left. Couple of breaths there. And then we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. And a couple of breaths here. Draw the heart forward to reach up through the crown of the head. You can find some movement here if you wish. And then we'll step the right foot back, downwards facing dog. Other side, inhale, left leg lifts. Point the foot up. And then bend your left knee, stack your left hip on top of your right. And then we'll step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Same thing. Draw the hips forwards, reach up through the crown of the head, heart reaches forwards. When you're ready, step it back. Downwards facing dog. Just take one more breath here. And then from there, as you inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step, jump, float your feet forward between your hands. Halfway lift. As you exhale, fold it. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands through to the heart. Okay, we're going to lift the right leg up in front of us. And you can either hold the shin with the right hand and work there, or if you can straighten out that right leg and work there. So you can always work with the knee bent, you don't have to straighten the leg. Trying to keep the hips square. And then take your right leg out to the side. Strong in the left leg, keep reaching up through the crown of the head. Ooh. So I'm having a wobbly day, but I always have wobbly days. And then bring the right leg back through to centre. We're going to bend the knee. Both hands go to the waist, and nice and gently step that right foot back behind you. So into a high lunge. Square off the hips as much as you can. So if you've landed that right foot in the wrong place, you can always alter it. You don't want the right foot directly behind the left. You want it out to the side, so your feet kind of hip width apart. Take your arms up alongside the ears. Now you could choose to stay here, or you could take it forwards and find the diagonal. So you're reaching forwards through your fingers and back out through that right heel. Keep the shoulders soft. And then from there, we're going to take the right hand down to the mat underneath the right shoulder and extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. So try not to drop the right hip. If anything, the left hip is drawing down and the right hip, the right thigh stays lifted. Take one more breath. Bring the left hand down to the mat. We're going to step back into plank. And from there, find Vashisthasana to your left. So left hand to the centre of your mat, roll onto the little toe side of your left foot and extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. You can always drop the left knee down onto the mat if you need to. Bring the right hand back down. You can go straight back to down dog, or if you wanted to work through a vinyasa, then you could do. Just one breath here in downward facing. And then soften your knees, look forward, step, jump, float the feet forward. Halfway lift, as you exhale, fold it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through to the heart. So coming through to the other side, weight's going to go onto the right leg, we'll lift up the left leg. So if you wanted to work with the leg bend, you would just hold on to the shin there. If you can work with the leg straight, then we'll come there. Shoulders and hips stay as square as they can. Fix your gaze on one spot, help you to balance. I'm going to take that leg out to the left-hand side. So opening up the hip. And then bring it back through to centre. Bend the left leg, both hands to the waist. And then nice and slowly, we'll step that left foot back behind us. And again, check where you've landed. So you want to be on the board of the back foot, but have hips width between your feet. You can straighten this left leg, you can keep the knee bent if that feels better for you. It's whichever feels better for your body. You don't want to compress the lower back there. Think strong legs. So an asana is a physically and mentally steady and still posture. Those are the qualities that we're looking for in our postures. We can take it forwards and find the diagonal if that feels okay. Feel free to stay upright if you prefer. Again, finding that length through the body. And we'll take the left hand down to the mat underneath the shoulder and extend the right arm up. And again, try not to drop all the weight onto the left side. Draw the right hip down. And then we'll bring the right hand back down onto the mat, step it back to plank. So Vashisthasana to your left, right hand to the centre of your mat, left arm lifts. Radiate energy through your arms, through your legs, out through the crown of your head. Take one more breath. And then bring your left hand back down onto the mat. Again, you can take a vinyasa or straight to downwards facing dog. Okay, from your downwards facing dog, as you inhale, float your right leg up behind you. And then we're just going to step that right foot through between the hands. Shorten the space between your feet, so you're drawing your left foot forwards a little bit. Square off the hips here. And as you exhale, fold forwards over your right leg. You can always keep a bend in that right knee if you need to. So drawing your right hip back as the left hip gently draws forwards. Just try and keep it square. Keep weight in that back foot, you're not coming up onto the ball of the foot. And then as you inhale, find a halfway lift. Take your left hand to the outside of your right foot and your right arm up towards the ceiling. So if that doesn't work for you, you can always keep your left hand to the inside of the right foot And you can use a block or a brick here as well if you need to. Roll open through the right shoulder. Take one more breath. And then bring your right hand back down onto the mat. Soften your right knee. Float your left leg up behind you. So coming through into your version of standing splits. Left leg floats as high as you can. You can keep both hands on the floor. You can walk the hands in towards your right foot if that's available. And you can hold on to your right shin with your right hand. Just find the version of the pose that suits you. Take one more breath. And then we'll take the right hand back down onto the mat. Soften the right knee. Step the left foot back behind you, either straight to downwards facing. You can take a vinyasa. You can take a one-legged vinyasa if you want to keep that right foot lifted. Back through to a downwards facing dog. Other side, inhale, left leg lifts. As you exhale, gently step the foot through between the hands. Shorten the space between your feet so you're drawing your right foot forward. Square off the hips, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, fold forwards over the left leg. And again, just soften the left knee if you need to. Draw your left hip back, your right hip forwards. Just take one more breath. And then find a halfway lift. Right hand again, you can keep it to the inside of the left foot or take it to the outside, and the left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. The left hip stays drawing back as the right draws forwards. And then bring the left hand back down onto your mat, standing splits, right leg floats up behind you. So walking the hands in towards your left foot as much as you can, and holding onto the left shin with the left hand if that's an option. So your nose is moving towards your left shin. Take one more breath. Take your left hand back down, soften your left knee, step your right foot back behind you, and again, straight to downwards facing. You can take a vinyasa, you can take a one-legged vinyasa. Coming back through to your breath. And then when you're ready, we'll come through to seated. So bending the knees, stepping or jumping the feet through to a seated position. So extend your legs out in front of you. Bend the knees if you need to. Lengthen the spine on the inhale, and as you exhale, we'll fold forward. You can take your peace fingers around your big toes. You can hold your shins. Whatever feels appropriate. Each inhale looking for length in the spine. Your exhale's taking you forwards. Couple more breaths, just feeling into your body. And then as you inhale, coming back through to upright. So we're going to take our hands behind us, bend the knees, feet hip width apart. As you inhale, lift up through the hips, the chest. And then as you exhale, we're going to take the hips back. See if you can take your bum back between your arms. Inhale to bring it forwards. Exhale to take it back. So if you've got quite short arms, then you can do this with bricks. Hips lift, take it back. Hips lift, take it back. Couple more, whether you're using bricks or not. And then we'll bring the bum back down onto the mat. We're going to find that forward fold again. So lengthening the spine as you inhale and as you exhale, fold forwards. Two more breaths. And then from there, as you inhale, bringing yourself back through to upright. We're going to find our way back into downwards facing dog. So you can take a little bit of a lift first if you wish, hands front, and either a vinyasa on your way, or straight back to downwards facing. Connecting through to the breath, we're going to come through into our pigeon pose. So inhale, right leg floats up. Let's bend the knee for a moment, just open up the hip there. Drawing down through your left heel, and then we'll square off the hips, bring the right leg through, and place the right leg down in front of, behind your wrists. So left leg is going to extend out behind you. Square off the hips here, and let's have just a few moments upright. So reach up through the crown of the head, open through the heart. And then as you exhale, folding forwards, coming through, opening up through the right hip. Use props if you need it here. If your right hip is hanging up in space, if there's a gap between your right hip and the floor, pop a cushion or a block underneath it. Just have a couple more breaths. And as you inhale, come back up onto your hands. We're going to take this into a twist. So we'll walk the hands over to the left, and maybe that's where you stay. If you feel you could come down onto your right forearm, then you've got the option to work there. If you feel you can come down onto your shoulder, then you can work there. The tendency is to roll back onto that right hip, so try not to. Keep the left hip drawing forwards and down. Keep the spine long. We'll take one more breath. And we'll come back through to centre as we inhale. And again, your choice of whether you take a vinyasa or move straight through to downwards facing dog. So inhale, we'll float the left leg up, just bend the knee. Keep gently drawing in the lower abdomen, draw down through the right heel. Keep the shoulders square rather than dropping into that right shoulder. And then square off the hips. Bring your left leg through for pigeon. Make sure your right leg is running pretty much parallel to the long side of your mat. Square off your hips and have a couple of breaths here. Opening through the front of the right hip flexor. Looking for Lunge. And then as you exhale, coming forwards. Staying connected to your breath. Let's take one more breath here. And then as you inhale back up onto the hands, we're going to find that twist. Walking the hands over to the right hand side, perhaps you stay there, perhaps you drop down onto your left forearm, perhaps you come down onto your left shoulder. And then releasing the hands back down onto your mat. We'll find our way back through to downwards facing dog. Okay, soften your knees, look forwards, step, jump, float your feet forward between your hands. Halfway lift there. As you exhale, fold in. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands through to the heart. Okay, so you could choose to finish your practice there. If you wanted to switch me off, don't forget to take your Shavasana. You're at least 2 or 3 minutes, longer if you want. If you want a little bit of a play, just with a balance, then we'll just hang on a little bit longer. So your choice. So if you're going to keep going, bring the hands together at your heart centre. Take your weight, in fact I'm going to turn this way to show you. Take your weight onto your right leg and lift up your left leg. So your left leg is going to come into kind of a pigeon leg, but resting on your right thigh. And we're going to start to bend the right knee. So we're going to come through into a twist. Left elbow to the sole of the left foot. So you could choose to work there. If your hips are quite open, you can take your hands down to the floor and come all the way down into a squat. So what we're going to try and do is take the left foot onto the upper left arm. So this is Dragonfly. We bend the elbows, we've got our chaturanga arms, and you see if you can extend your right leg out to the side. So my left foot is pressing into my upper left arm. We'll bend the right knee, we'll come back through to centre. From there, we'll come back through to upright, and we'll release the left foot back down onto your mat. But you wish you'd taken your Shavasana now. So we're going to do the same thing the other side. So the right foot will come up onto the left thigh, come down by bending the left knee, and take the right elbow to the sole of the right foot. You can take your twist there, or you can come all the way down into your squat. You've got you're twisting to your left, so you're going to take your right foot onto the top of your right arm, bend your elbows, tip the weight forwards, and see if you can straighten out that left leg. We'll bend the knee, bring it back through into our squat, and from there we can step it back, downwards facing dog. Connect to your breath, soften your knees, and step or jump through to seated. Okay, we're going to just finish off with a little bit of a back bend before we move into our Shavasana, so just lie yourself back down on your mat. Bend your knees, so coming back through to that bridge pose, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips and the chest, clasp your hands underneath you. Again, just engage in the back line of the body. And then as you exhale, release your hands, slowly bring the spine back down. So we'll do one more of those. If you're comfortable in Urdhva Dhanurasana, your wheel pose, we can move into Urdhva Dhanurasana, but otherwise just repeat your bridge pose again. So you're going to interwheel, hands come kind of underneath the shoulders. Try and keep your elbows in towards each other rather than letting the wing out wide. Press into the feet, and as you inhale, starting to lift up. Lift up through the hips, through the heart space. If you're in wheel, you're working to straighten out the arms. One more breath. And then if you're in wheel, we'll bring the chin to the chest first. Slowly start to come out of the pose. So the spine comes back down onto the mat with control. And once we're down, and once the spine's back in neutral, you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out. Couple of breaths. And then drawing the knees in towards each other and bringing them in towards your chest. A little rock from side to side. And then straightening out your legs for your relaxation. So just getting pillows, eye pillows, blankets if you need them. Closing down through the eyes. Just wiggling if you need to, just to be able to let your body soften down. So sense that your back kind of spreads along your mat. Your arms and your legs are heavy. And let your breath slow. If you find that your mind is still busy, try counting the breaths. Inhale for a count of 4. Pause. Exhale for a count of 4. Pause. Inhale for 4. Just keep going like that. Using your exhales to release tension. Essentially giving yourself this rest time. I hope you've enjoyed your practice with me today. This is where I leave you. Namaste.